man, this whiskey one. Shit's hit the fan, we're overrun. Sending boys in the trucks with the 50 cals. Tell every swinging neck bringing extra rounds. Hang in there, boys, we're on our way. Don't send them all to heaven before we get a taste. Whoa, cry havoc, let's slip and goes the room. What you gonna do, my friend, when the devil is at your door? You run and hide, in the end you just got tired. Cause you started a party, we invited guests. Let me introduce you to the shadow of death. The shadow of death. Whiskey man, it's whiskey one. We're all secured and they're on the run. Tell them boys in the trucks with the 50 cals. The next time I see them, I'll buy the rounds. Tell the devil of Ramadi we gon' call them real soon. Next time they wanna party, bring whiskey too. Whoa, cry havoc, let's slip and go to war. What you gonna do, my friend, when the devil is at your door? You run and hide, in the end you just die tired. Cause you started a party, we invited guests. Let me introduce you to the shadow of death. Shadow of death. Let's live and go to war. What you gonna do, my friend, when the devil is at your door? You run and hide, in the end you just die tired. Cause you started a party, we invited guests. Let me introduce you to the shadow of death. Shadow of death.
And welcome to another edition of the True Patriot Outfitters podcast. Happy Thursday, y'all. Glad you can join us here. If you're joining live, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are watching this later, thank you very much. As always, we got to pay the bills here. This episode being brought to you by Vicious Fishing. You know, we trust them. You know, we love them. And not to mention the fact that they do a ton to support us on our mission on the other side of things with the nonprofit work. Vicious Fishing, the fishing line that they have out there is, they've got every level. They got entry-level stuff if you're not wanting to get overly too critical about it. And you can take it as far as you want to take it to some really, really serious line that they have out there. And like I said, not to mention Greg, his family, the entire team at Vicious, they are an outstanding, awesome group of folks, as well as a new sponsor for this year that we have, Onos Polarized Fishing Sunglasses. You saw the little intro I did on them. I'm telling you, folks, it took me forever to find these things. Old guys out there who need readers like me, I have found the answer finally. A set of polarized glasses with multiple options in polarization, mirroring, and lensing with bifocals built in, y'all. No more do I have 2 pair of glasses on with my polarized and then my snap-ons. Don't have to deal with that anymore. Onos polarized glasses. If I was on my game, I'd be throwing this up here for you. There you go. Bada bing. Facebook. You can check them out there. Go check them out. You don't have, the biggest part of this is you're not going to spend $650 like you will elsewhere because they count them as prescription or whatever. I've tried just about any and everything you can find out there. And finally, these guys have the products, have the pricing, have the service that you're looking for. And to go back to Vicious, there they are. You can check them out at Instagram at Get Vicious, Facebook at Vicious Fishing. All right, we paid the bills. Now, so here in Colorado, we're about to get things kicked off. On the second part of this podcast here, we're going to bring in the man himself, Mr. James Strawbridge, our tournament director, founder of the Feast, and then his right-hand man, Mr. Matt Flanagan, will be joining us as well. And we're going to talk about Chatfield, which comes up in a couple days. Today's the deadline to get signed up for that, to get James all your information, all that good stuff. And before we get to that stuff, though, we have also with us the man behind the video that has literally, I think he won the internet with this thing, and has taken over. And it's the hail shelling that this poor guy takes at a Moyak fishing event. For those of you who are unaware, this is a Missouri kayak angling tournament series. And I'm telling you right now, if you look around, you look at the numbers, you look at the quality of anglers, you look at how it's run, you look at its history, you could make an argument that Moyak is probably is one of the, if not the premier regional kayak tournament series in the U.S. right now. I mean, man, these guys are putting together some serious hammers out there, and they field like 70, 80 anglers at a time. They have a rich history out there. It's a phenomenal group. That is the birthplace of the All-American Kayak Series, man. It was because of the success of Moyak that's what sprung up the All-Americans. So it's super cool to see. They were at Palm de Terre where that video got taken. And we're going to bring him in, Mr. Lance Irwin. We'll bring him into the podcast here shortly. A couple of things we want to touch base on, man. The Bass Buggy right now is finally getting some service done that it needed to get done a couple weeks ago. I just had to pull the trigger and get it done. Unfortunately, what it's cutting into is my time on the water for Chatfield. Oh, well, I know where I'm going pretty much. We'll head out there and we'll get her done. But ultimately, the Bass Buggy is going to have a new look when we unveil her here. And we'll have all of our late sponsors and all the new updates on the nonprofit, all that good stuff. We'll be putting that stuff together. Plus, we are booking dates as we speak for more of our veterans getting involved with the True Patriot Outfitters. We're in first responders. We're touching base with a couple local fire departments around here, seeing if we can draw from those ranks, get some folks out there in a kayak, get them out fishing, and put them on some bass. James, if you can hear me, I can see you in the green room. You look good, buddy. There you go. Yeah, everything's looking good. We got some guys joining us in the green room right now, and I could tell he was looking at a screen. He was trying to figure out what was going on there, so I just wanted to reassure him that everything's looking good. So man, like I said, the True Patriot Outfitters, we're getting this stuff booked up. If you know of a veteran, a first responder, and you want to give them a very special day out on the water at no cost whatsoever to them, please reach out to us. If you are a veteran or a first responder or a family member of one of the above, and you want to get out on the water and you want to experience bass fishing, you want to experience kayak fishing, give us a call, hit us DM, email, whatever. We'd love to get you on the calendar, get this thing booked and get that stuff rolling through there and get that fired up. Save the date, June 24th, Saturday at... Hang on. It's coming back to me. Stanley Lake Regional Park. See, old guy disease. Stanley Lake Regional Park. We're having an open house where we are going to have the True Patriot Outfitters on hand to bring the kayaks, bring our program there, talk about the program. We're going to have the Colorado Kayak Fishing Club on hand to talk about kayaking, talk about fishing, and their support for the community and their nonprofit work that they do. They're going to be joining us out there. Come out, check out the kayaks, check out Stanley Lake, hiking, camping, fishing, you name it, man. It is a beautiful, beautiful park out there. June 24th. It's a Saturday. It's going to be a blast from 8 to 3. You can come on out there, join us, meet us. Let's talk fishing, man. Let's talk kayaking. We would love to have you. We'll be posting more of that stuff on the social channels as we move along, for sure. And that way we can keep you all up to date. Last but not least, volunteers. We could use some help in a few areas. We're looking for volunteers to help us with some fundraising efforts that we've got going on. We're going to be setting up little stands at, say, King Soopers or a few other high traffic areas out front there, and just trying to spread the word of the True Patriot Outfitters. Grassroots campaign, that's what we're going to be aiming for. That's what we're going to be trying to get going. And we can always use help at setting up people at those to talk about the True Patriot Outfitters. If you're interested and you would like to get involved with us here, please reach out to me. Send me a DM, send me an email, send a raven, smoke signals, whatever you want to do. I'm available, man. So let's hit me up here and let's get you up to speed with the True Patriot Outfitters, and let's put you on board and let's go help raise some funds here so we can keep this mission moving. That should pretty much do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the man himself, Mr. Lance Irwin, into the program here, and we're going to get to know him. We'll take a look at that video. And what I'm also going to do, just to make sure and secure our connection, I'm going to bring in James Strawbridge and Matt Flanagan. They're just going to join and kind of be flies on the wall here for us as we go through this. That way they don't have to sit out there in the green room and grow mold. So let's bring these guys in. Lance, welcome to the podcast, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Gene.
Hey, you bet, brother, you bet. So let me bring in a couple of these other guys, and I'll get this screen all figured out here. Mr. Strawbridge, welcome to the show. Oh, James is muted. Hang on. Yep, unmute your. Hang on. There you go.
Am I back? Hello, test, 1, 2.
Yep, there you are, brother. That's why we were doing this here. Let's get Matt in there as well. All right, look at this.
And now you know why James brought me out. He doesn't know how to work his computer.
That's right. That's right. All right. So we got everybody in here. Now let me see if I can do a little spotlight mode here. And what do we do here? And we're going to set here. Solo layout. There's Lance. Now what if we do this? No? All right, never mind. We'll go back to just group layout, and we'll call it that. All right, Lance. So we'll put you on here. We've got these guys joining us. Like I said, there'll be flies on the wall here. But let's talk, brother. So who are you? What do you do? You're a kayak angler. We know that, but you're from Missouri. There. Tell us about who you are.
Yeah, I'll just give you a quick overview of my story. I'm from Jefferson City, Missouri. For anybody that's history buffs out there, Jefferson City is the state capital. I graduated from Lincoln University in Jefferson City. Currently, I live in Nixon, Missouri.
Nice.
And that's the hometown of Jason Bourne. I don't know if everybody knows who he is or not. But,
yeah, the Bourne identity.
That's right. That's right. Been married for 27 years to my wife, Julie. I got twin sons that are 25, Tanner and Cody. And then I have 2 grandchildren, Maverick and Parker, and, adore those two.
27 years. Congratulations, man. That is freaking awesome. That is good stuff.
Thank you.
You bet. You bet. So you're a kayak angler. We know that. What do you do for a living otherwise?
I'm in the finance business.
Nice.
I've worked for Heights Finance for 23 years now. I'm a district supervisor and down in Springfield, Missouri. And, just love the finance business, helping people.
That is not a statement you hear very often, that I love the finance business. I did a little bit of financial work in the right before everything went anchors up in the early mid 2000s there. And yeah, you didn't hear that often. People that actually loved it, so that's awesome. That's why you've been in it so long.
That's right.
Good stuff. So you were at Palm de Terre with the Moyak fishing series. How long have you been fishing the Moyak series?
Well, I like to say that I'm a senior this year. This is my 4th year.
Nice.
I fished a lot when I was younger, in my teens, with my dad when he was alive. but I haven't fished for 20 years or so until the last 4 years, and a lot's changed over last 20 or plus years. So
yes, sir.
I've done a little better each year, but it's a learning experience every time
day.
you're on the water, and we certainly have some sticks in our club, and it's not easy.
You know what they say though, Lance? I'm a firm believer. I coached football for 18 years, and I can tell you, iron sharpens iron. The fact that you are going against some of the best anglers in the country, not just the region. Those dudes, they're coming out of Moayak there. I mean, pulling in Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma. Some of us that try to, jump in from Colorado as well. I mean, it's some of the best in the flyover states that that you have to contend with throughout there. So, man, that's an awesome deal. So, all 4 of these years have been out of a kayak as well.
They have been, yeah.
Nice.
And I've had about 10 kayaks, but right now I've settled on one. So, yeah.
Before I show this video, man, how is it? Did it survive okay from the beating?
Yeah, it did. Shout out to Hobie. I really looked that thing over, and I couldn't find any dents on it. And I can tell you, my truck took a beating.
I heard Jared was talking about there's a lot of guys that their vehicles just got wrecked.
Yeah, but the Hobie, I couldn't find anything on it.
That's awesome, because we're talking. For those of you who have not seen this video, you're in for something that I'm telling you is not something you see every day. Some of these things were, golf balls. Some of them were near baseball size. I mean, you guys were just, and this is out of palm to tell you guys were getting just smoked out there, and it wasn't everywhere. It was kind of concentrated. Unfortunate for you.
Yeah.
You were right in the heart of it, man. It seriously looked like you were taking fire from something flying by. It was serious up there. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and roll this thing here. We're going to bring this screen in. All right, so we can see that there. Let me see if I can full screen it. There we go. And let me jump back over here. Get rid of my little deal there. All right. So, and out of respect for Lance, I'm going to kill the sound at the end. There's an expletive that fires off, but it's not going to offend any of us whatsoever. But it's his desire that's not something he's overly proud of. But I'll tell you what, brother, I would have said way worse than what you did out there, because that one looked like it was a direct hit to you when it happened. Yeah, I would have invented words. I'm pretty sure of it here. So let's roll this so you folks can see this. That is hail coming in.
Wow.
I'm telling you, folks, that is intense. Your camera hits the ground there. I mean, look at the shots coming in on the left side there. Oh, that was right on the cargo carrier. Where did that one hit you at the end there, Lan? Was that like in the knee, leg?
I have 2 big bruises on my back, and I got hit in both knees. The one in the knee is the one that really hurt.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Holy biscuits, man. Yeah, I've watched this video just countless times. And what's super cool, I will say, is the fact that you're pedal assisting that motor guide up front there, just like, get moving. That is some serious stuff. How long from that video time before you were able to get to some sort of cover?
Probably a minute.
Okay.
Of course, my wife reads me some of the comments on the internet, and people can't see that there's an 8-foot bank over on the right-hand side that's mud.
Yeah.
And the trees really aren't overhanging on the right-hand side.
Right.
So there really just wasn't any place for me to go. I mean, it had been like 5 minutes earlier. I was kind of in a protected area. But I was way up the creek, went about 3 miles up to start off the day, and I was probably 1.5 miles from the boat ramp right there.
Wow.
Trolling motor had very little juice. And yeah, when that one hit me, you can see me, I start pedaling a little faster. I mean, didn't make any difference whatsoever.
How did
I
did
smell
your
a Hobie
graph
commercial.
survive? Right. Did your graph make it through unscathed?
It did. I saw a couple comments about the graph. I was, after I kind of figured out what was going on, I did pull the graph down and set it in the floorboard because I was just waiting for that thing to get smashed.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, that is, and that's one of the best piece of advice that I was ever given. The social media monster that's out there is a necessary evil for doing business. In the event like this, where you've got something that has the potential to go viral like this, here's the best piece of advice I was ever given, and I'll pass it on to you. Don't read the comments. Just don't bother with them because it's almost just not worth it. At this point, the reel's going to speak for itself. You've got everything you need there, but yeah, don't even sweat or think anything of it. There was Swindell, Gerald, G-Man reiterated that in his last big conference that he did also was just, don't read the comments. Just move on by it and don't even sweat it because it's almost pointless.
Yeah, Gene, I've only made 3 posts, and I would like to say I'm not a sympathetic kind of person or an apologetic kind of person. Anybody that saw that video, the GD word that I said at the end, for me, it's embarrassing. It's not who I am. I don't know why it came out of my mouth, and I do want to apologize to anybody that offended or turned off because I'm a Christian and I just don't take that word lightly.
Understood. We appreciate that and we respect that. That's why I went ahead and we did what we did there as far as bleeping it, and
Yeah, I
shutting the
appreciate
volume.
that.
Yeah, you bet. Just know amongst the guys you got sitting here, you're not going to offend any of us
That's all
whatsoever. We hear much worse than that out there, I'm sure. But yeah, that's no, and I mean, I appreciate and respect when you say I don't know why. I know exactly why you said it, man. I'm watching that video and you're just getting destroyed out there. Like I said, I would have invented new words that probably, not even English has heard of yet. That is some scary stuff. But so your head, I got to ask, did you put arms up, anything over your head?
Initially, I wasn't thinking about my head. Once I got over to the bank, I did put on I had a hoodie that was in right by me, and I kind of covered up with that.
Right.
But no, I was, after I kind of thought about it for about 30 seconds of that, I was just like, oh God, please don't hit me on the ear or the back of the head.
I'm telling you, one of those strikes wrong, you're getting coloring books for Christmas the rest of your life, Lance. I mean, those things are coming in at speed, man.
Yeah. Well, you're thinking about a lot of things when that happens, and a long day on the water, mentally probably, fatigued. I wasn't fishing very good. I was thinking about trying to catch fish. When you look back on it, yeah, it was, dumb, funny, unique, painful. But, until you're really in that situation, you don't know how you're going to react. And
exactly.
It could have been a lot worse, but I'm fine. So.
That's awesome, man. We're glad you are. We're glad you were not hurt. Glad the Hobie survived for you. Feel hearts go out to all the guys that did take damage on trucks, and I didn't hear of anybody through the ranks there of anybody that had been struck by any of that stuff. So let's hope that that is still the case, because that thing just kind of, we knew that there was some weather running around, but I didn't hear any reports of there are like rocks coming out of the sky, y'all. So get to cover out there. I didn't hear any warnings about that. So that was.
Yeah, it was sunny, and then it was kind of cloudy, and I could, hear a little bit of the thunder. Didn't have any cell phone reception for most of the day. And, Josh Booth, our tournament director with Moyak and the All-American, he's great with communication throughout the week. The night before the captain's meeting, sending out, emails and stuff during the tournament. Of course, I didn't get any of those that day of that tournament, but I sent out a podcast earlier this week that this was a Lance problem, and it wasn't a weather problem. Everybody communicated that there could be. I probably should have been a little closer, but it is what it is as a learning experience. But
sure,
yeah.
No, me personally, man, I take it was a very unique experience, flat out. Everybody made it through okay, no damage done, dude. That's phenomenal, and you turned out some great content for for the internet. If anybody's got a beef with that, what we need more negative stuff out there. For the love of Pete, I think we got enough, man. I'll take kayak fishing and really crazy experiences like that all day long, in regards to things we're going to watch. So, yeah, like I said, man, that's awesome stuff. So I got to ask, how'd you do in the event? You said it wasn't great. So did it just, we're not going to talk about that part?
Gene, I will tell you this. I caught more fish last Saturday than I've ever caught in a tournament. I probably caught 30. Half of them were white bass. And if we got to measure those, I would have been in the money. I didn't catch a single scoreable bass over 14 and a half inches. Probably caught 15, maybe up to 18. Caught a lot of them. I just couldn't even find a good one. So I did not do very well. I think I got 30th.
That's all right. That's all right, man. Some of those, one of my first boating tournaments on Truman, I had gone through and I found just 2 or 3 solid pockets of fish. I got there on tournament morning, and they all turned into white bass. And all of a sudden, I could not keep those things off my stupid bait. And I think I squeaked out a very dinky limit. My co-angler got like 3 or 4 fish. That happens down in those Ozark lakes, man. Those white bass, those things, man, they take over an area when they start hunting down there. They get serious. So,
yep.
And I've never fished Palm de Terre. What is that like comparatively speaking to say Stockton, Truman, Lick of the Ozarks?
Well, I got to tell you, I always tell my buddy, Tommy Prost, that I can't tell the difference between the 2 lakes. I get so mixed up between like where I'm going up there. But I would say it for me, it's kind of comparable to Stockton. The problem is this time of year at Pomney is that there's moss all over the bank, and I like to fish shallow. Yep. So that's the reason why I fished the creek this time, because there really wasn't any moss. So, I'm probably not the best person to ask about what kind of lake it is. For me, it's just one that I can't fish worth a crap at.
Well, listen, man, we're super, super thankful for you. You taking the time out of your evening here to come join us and talk about that crazy video that is absolutely, taking the kayak fishing channels by storm. Everywhere I turn around, the thing's out there. I was talking to a new sponsor that we just signed a contract with today, and he was like, "Hey, have you seen that video?" And I'm like, "Hey, I happen to have the guy that took that video coming on the podcast tonight." So chances are he's tuning in right now and watching, or he'll be watching a little bit later as well. So it's so cool seeing it make the rounds out there. So Lance, you are more than welcome to hang with us here, or if you've got family plans, we again are so very thankful, and we're glad you're okay, and thankful that you would take the time out of your schedule to stop by here at the True Patriot Outfitters. And I'm looking forward to eventually meeting you at one of the All-Americans, or maybe one of these Moyak deals that I'll be sneaking into. I got my eye on a couple of those, that's still looking at for this year and definitely next year. So get a chance to meet you in person.
Yeah, Gene, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You bet, brother. You bet. All right, folks. So we are going to go ahead and move over here. And Lance, if you want to hang out, you can. If not, just let me know, and I'll pull you from the podcast there.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to stay.
Okay, awesome. So, folks, we are going to switch over now talking Colorado fishing. Gentlemen, thank you for hanging out here. I'm glad we got you in the podcast room here. It just makes it easier to make sure the bandwidth and everything is going to sync up good and be good here. Colorado Kayak Bassmasters Tournament Director, the man, the big toe, the big fish, Mr. James Strawbridge. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you, Gene. Thanks for having me.
You bet, you bet. And the second big toe on the other foot, the guy behind the scenes, if you pull the curtain back, you'll see his mug, is Mr. Matt Flanagan. Matt, thank you for joining, brother.
Thanks for having me, bud.
You bet, man. So we're about to get this thing kicked off. Colorado Kayak Bassmasters, event number 1, Chatfield Res. Today's the last day folks have. Is that right, James? They can get signed up today?
Tonight is the last to sign up on TourneyX. You needed to have all your paperwork in through BASS and all their Bass member numbers and dues in by Monday. But for anybody that's got that in, tonight is the last night to sign up for anybody who is a current active member.
Perfect. So there is one thing that I want to share. Share this tab instead. There we go. And we're going to add this to the stream. What in the actual heck, James? This is Saturday's forecast.
Wait, you're going to make me put on my glasses now?
Let me read
Hang
it to
on
you.
a second here. Hang on.
A
Oh, my
morning
God.
flurry, otherwise chilly with intervals of clouds and sun, 41 degrees.
It's all my fault.
That's what I'm saying.
He had to make a Facebook post earlier in the week saying it was going to be good weather.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
I come for the abuse. Just keep firing at me, guys.
You had to jinx us.
It's got to be better than last weekend. There were about 5, 6, maybe 7 of us from the club out there pre-fishing. Nobody caught a bass.
Oh, at Chatfield?
Yeah. Walleye.
Yeah.
Plenty of walleye, no bass.
Yeah.
And I got an excuse for that. I got tied up with all those walleye that's Matt's talking about. I got tied up with my live scope watching them hit. And I'm like, well, bass is cool, but this is really fun to tune in the forward-facing sonar and watch the walleye just chase your bait and get bit. So I just spent the rest of the day fishing for walleye. So maybe I could have got a bass, but it was fun catching all those walleye, that's for sure.
My first outing was down at Trinidad. Was it Trinidad? It was Trinidad with that live scope, and I had 2 dots on my screen at long range. Threw the Ned rig out to him, and I watched one of the dots come up and grab it. Turned out to be a walleye. You know, the only walleye I have ever caught have always been by accident. I have never purposefully caught one of those fish because it's always when I'm looking for smallmouth. That's always the time that they hit for me.
Yeah, so, and you know, putting a tournament in April in Colorado is just risky by nature. So we had a chance of it could be 75 degrees or it could be 41 and snowing.
That's right. That's right.
So, I mean, with the rec boaters and everything, I'm almost going to be glad it's going to be a little chillier because I think we'll have that lake to ourselves for the most part, I'm going to say.
100%. Nobody's going to be out there, and people are going to be looking at us going, what are you guys doing? I'll tell you what I'm super thankful for, and that is it rhymes with blackfish. Because my storm skin is going to be coming in so handy that day, keeping me nice and toasty warm out there. Yeah, it's
I'm bundling up. I'm bringing 2 sets of rain gear. I'm going to bring everything.
If you see a little Coleman heater in the front of my New Canoe Unlimited, don't worry. I'll keep it pointed up, so I'll stay warm out there. Well, those little propane heaters, why not, man? Guys do it in the boats all the time. They hook those things up. Bet you I could get an electric in there.
I'll have to check the rules and see if that's legal. That's an unfair advantage.
As I just said, I bet you I can get an electric in there. I started thinking, an electric heater on a lake. That sounds like a great idea, Gene. Okay, I'll just bundle up and we'll call it a day. No, man, and the water's not going to bounce that far. I don't feel. It is where it is right now. I think it's got them, for me, what's going to be so weird is dialing this clock back. So I've been to Gunnersville. I played a little bit of pre-spawn and spawn there. Went over to Texas. We got them spawning, some of them done spawning. Back to Arkansas, where we're playing right around there. And now I'm coming here and we're back to pre-spawn, going here because at 50 some odd degrees, I don't know if we're going to find many of them on beds at this point down there. I don't think any of them. So it's going to be finding them staging. And it could be just a slugfest, believe it or not, I think. It could be a heck of a day.
Water was what, like 55-ish, James? If I remember.
No,
right?
I was recording 48. I was at 48 is what I saw at the end of the day on Sunday.
I'm thinking of John Martin. John Martin was up 55. Yeah. Chatfield
Gotcha.
was right around 50-ish, 49, 50.
And you
48
never can.
degrees is going to be a little chilly. Like Go ahead, Gene.
No, I was just going to say, you can never trust the stuff that you find online. You don't know how updated that stuff is. I've looked at stuff before, started calculating my game plan, and then realized the date was like from 9 years ago or something. And I'm like, why do you guys still have this stuff up? Dam report from 2000.
Yeah, I was hoping that water temperature would have been in at least the 50s for us, but I don't think we're going to get the 50. I think it's going to, like Matt was saying, last Sunday it was 48 degrees when I left in the afternoon. I don't think it's going to be far off from that, if not possibly lower when we get there in the morning. I'm thinking 46 probably.
Yeah, it'll be a chilly,
we do have smallies in there, and smallies are active in that colder water.
Totally. And that's, it's definitely, smallies are going to be the name of the game, as a lot of Colorado fisheries are, man. Our green fish aren't that plentiful out here, so it'll for sure be there. But it's going to be exciting. I'm glad. It's going to be cool to see who can make it, who shows, who decides.
We got 28 so far already.
That's freaking awesome.
I think last season 18 was our highest, and that was the championship. So yeah, it's going to be a good one.
This is going to be a good year. I have it. I have a feeling, and a lot of those changes that you had the club, make votes on. That was super cool to see, and just to see this turnout piece here, that should be good. My man, Mr. Eric Ali, I was talking with him today, and he wasn't feeling so hot. So hopefully he starts on the right side of feeling better, and we get him out there. If he's feeling like crap,
no, we don't need him out there. He knows that place too well. He can stay home.
There's a few of you guys that I can say that about. I've never competitively fished this water, and the way it looks, I might get a shot to get on the water tomorrow. Maybe not. My truck has had some. I couldn't wait any longer on maintenance, and then this wrap. We had to get the wrap done. We're heading to the Classic next week. So I'm not going to have any time next week. So it's like we just had to pull the trigger on it, and then ran into a few snafus along the way here. So what I was going to get back today, it looks like it'll be tomorrow before I get the thing back. So trying to get the kayaks over to Chatfield has been, or the one kayak has been a little bit of a challenge. But like I said, I know right where I'm going. It's just going to be a matter of putting my head down with the sonar and the clear view on the Garmin's and seeing what I see and going to work. So if I run into something, it'll probably be a rock, and that's about it. Because there won't be, I don't think, much boat traffic out there to contend with. So that's a good thing. 28 people, guys. Congratulations.
That means first place is paying out $866.
How about that?
Right? That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there.
Yep.
Let me say this first and foremost. I know there's a lot of people out there. I'm going to speak on their behalf that they share my sentiment on this. A great deal of this is because of you two and the work that you guys have done for the club, man. So thank you so very much as an angler and competitor out there. Thank you guys for continuing to keep the ship going in the right direction. Yeah, man, this is, I'm looking forward to this. If we get can you imagine if we get a championship with over 30, that could be 3 people from Colorado we could send.
Yep.
That would be fun.
I think it's going to happen. I really do. I think guys are fishing this event or just going to fish one event just to qualify to get to that opportunity up at Horsetooth to go to the Bassmaster Classic in 2024.
Right. That's pretty awesome. Speaking of the Classic, Flanagan, are you going, brother?
I'm going. I'm hitting the road either middle of the night Monday or Tuesday morning, bright and early. I'll be there.
So I'm thinking Operation James Smell This Rag needs to happen. We'll load his kayak up.
We still
James,
got two spots on the roster.
Does this rag smell like chloroform to you, James? And then boom, you're in the back of my
Lance
truck.
going? Lance, are you going? Are you going, Lance, to the Classic?
You're not going to the Classic? Oh, he's not. Way to
See, so I don't feel
redirect,
so bad.
Strawbridge.
So two of us
Way to
two of us
redirect.
My wife has me under wraps.
My job's got me under wraps right now.
Oh,
I'm tired of this work thing.
Come on.
He's
No
the boss,
practice.
Lance.
Just
Don't let
no
him fool
practice.
you.
Just head out Thursday night. No practice. You'll be all right. Easier. Come on.
I'm staying at Uncle Gabby's hotel, and I'm pretty sure that there's got to be a chair or a very clean section of the floor you can have at my hotel, James. It costs you nothing, buddy. You can stay there rent-free, baby. Let's do this.
I don't think it's going to happen. I know it's not going to happen.
We understand. I of all people understand the travel piece and the time away, the commitment. It's huge, man. It's no joke. We were just calculating, Julie and I, when we were coming back from South Carolina here. I have already, we're not even out of April yet. I have already on the tournament season so far put over 7,000 miles on the pickup. It's like, are you kidding me? My once very low mileage pickup is now creeping in on 90,000 miles. I'm like, whoo, doggy. That's happening fast. Thankfully, though.
We're geographically challenged. That's for sure.
That's the thing. Truman is like a 10.5-hour run, to get there. To be honest with you now, for me, that's a walk in the park. Let's do it, because I'm used to pulling my length is pretty much 14 in that range. Anything outside of that, and now, I start feeling the effects of it. So it's like 10, 11. Yeah, I'll get up.
I'm going to try to do it in one shot. I've never done, I think most I did in one day was 8 when I went down to OHIV, but I've never tried 10, so I'm going to give it a shot.
Once you get through eastern Colorado and western Kansas, the rest is a walk in the park, because the view starts to get, at least you got towns and activity. And once you get, into that western side, you start getting green. And it's, I'm actually considering
trees over 4 feet, actually.
Yes. Trees that don't, show signs of dust when the wind blows. Yeah.
I swear they're not even over 4 feet tall. You drive out in Kansas and the birds just fall out of the sky because they don't even have a tree to land in.
Well, they fall out of the sky because they just given up. They're like, there's nothing to eat. It sucks out here.
I think the joke is actually about Wyoming, but I think it applies more to Kansas, that their state tree is a telephone pole.
Yes, western Kansas. Yeah. Eastern actually is beautiful down there, man. There's a lot of good greenery down there, some good water. Yeah, it's right on the border, in between there. That's like mined lands. That is a beautiful area down there.
I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, for sure. So that's next week. We've got and I'm going to say this, and I say this with the utmost respect, but I kind of called this a while back with a few people. Back in November, December, January, when the first talk of the Classic started coming up, man, the laundry list of people like, I am on that, I am going, we're in, this is going to be great. You saw these entry lists about yay long or whatever, and now as we get closer and the time is coming, that list has shortened down. And I'm not trying to be a snarky about that. It's totally understandable. If anybody can understand and respect why, that it is a hard thing to do, to get that time off, to travel that distance, to commit, because no joke, man, this has got some of the best anglers from around the country are showing up to this thing, because there's a good chunk of change on the line for this, and the bragging rights of the team, man. That Iowa team, is coming. There are some straight killers in that group. Nebraska's going to have a team. Moyak, yikes. I mean,
Colorado, we got 3 teams, so we got a good chance of bringing it back here.
3 teams from Colorado? That's right. We got
CTFC
the
multi too.
That's right. So yeah, we're going to be sending 3 out there. So this is going to be just, I think, a blast. It's going to be a ton of fun. how it all rolls out. But let's talk here. So we got the Chatfield. What I wanted to do while we were talking, let's share this real fast. So here's Chatfield. And just so folks are aware, according to the website, the north ramp is where if you have a motor, you got to get inspected up here. Am I hearing that correct? Is that what
That's
you guys
the information
also...
I'm getting, yes.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the inspection's right here as you drive down through. There'll be an inspection line right there, and then it releases you into the parking lots. And then at the end of this, we are up here, are we not? Right up in this area here for the awards?
That is correct.
Yep, up to that top. That's where we're all going to meet afterwards. So, yeah. And I hope the south ramp is available to be able to launch at. If you can get inspected to the north and then come down here, that would be fantastic. But according to were you guys able to last weekend? Was the south open, or did you even see?
It's open, yeah. I was there 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. So you can launch there. There's just no inspection or anything going on there.
I don't know. I don't have a motor, so I blow right on by that. So I don't know.
Gotcha.
The ramp itself is open.
Gotcha. We're not going to see
Josh
this
Gardner came down on Sunday. Josh Gardner came down on Sunday when we were all there, and he had a motor, and I was going to get some lures from him, and he said he's launching from the South Shore, and he had a motor. So I assume that there's an inspection, but trying to get an answer or get somebody to call you back or find out what's current online at the Chatfield website, I can't find any current information for ANS information.
I have called that number 3 different times, and all 3 times I call it gives me a busy signal of all things, something I haven't heard in years. We get a busy signal from it.
Right. So that makes it tough for me because I want to give all you guys the best information that I can and the greatest option to be able to launch to make it convenient for you. But I'm only getting that North Shore is a definite there. So I'm going to do some research tomorrow for my captain's meeting, and I'll try to clarify all this.
I'll back you up with that, because even if my truck's not ready, I'll borrow the wife's car and I'll drive down there and just check. I'll drive into the park, pay the fee to get in, and then just check to see if there is an inspection available at the south, and they just haven't updated their website yet. So I'll one way or another, I'll find out. I'll make it a point, because I need to know, because that would save literally about a mile's worth of travel if I could launch from south as opposed to the north side there.
Yep.
And then of course, if you're hand launching, there are some options along this way here. You just have to walk the yak down a little bit, it looks like. But other than that, there does seem
there's
some
various
areas.
parking lots along that west side.
Yep. Yeah, we're not going to see this green. Wouldn't that be nice to see the nice green trees tucked in there? Yeah, none of that's going to be there. It's going to be sticks. That's what we're going to see from that whole area.
I swung down to Kingfisher when I was passing through, and I think, isn't that where you launched from, Matt? From Kingfisher?
Yep, last weekend I did, yep. It's flooded.
Yeah, there was plenty of water in there, right? You could get in those trees.
Oh, yeah, you can get into the trees behind the beaver huts there.
Oh, wow. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Kingfisher doesn't look too rough.
No, that's an easy launch. Well, I mean, unless you trailer right down to the water, but if you're hand carting it, it's a real short cart from the parking lot.
Yeah, I put the trailer up. The only time I'm doing the trailer is when I'm doing the nonprofit events now, where I have to take multiple yaks. Otherwise, I'm going back to the bed of the pickup. It's more work on my body, and I come close to throwing my back out pretty much every time. But I just learned to start lightening up the yak more before I get in the back, and I like the mobility that I have of being able to launch from different areas, with it in the bed of the truck. So, yeah. Interesting. Well, cool. So, yeah, man, that is going to be set up. That is awesome to hear that we got that kind of, forward already out the gates. We're getting that sort of, and hopefully we get maybe a couple more sneaking in today. After this, next on the list, another mega popular. My personal favorite of all the lakes in Colorado, Pueblo. We're heading south to Pueblo that's next month, right? In May?
Yeah, I think it's 3 weeks from this weekend, I think.
Nice.
May 13th.
May 13th. Perfect.
Yeah.
Dude, that
should be good. That should be timed perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited this time actually having 2 full days to check that place out down there. Last time I only got like a half a day in there because I had to get my kid's ankle MRI'd and all that good stuff to make sure he was okay. But this time we're going to get down there and check out a few more areas. And yeah, man, that's I'm excited. I won't be camping though. I'll tell you that. I'll do a hotel. I'm not doing that camping gig anymore. That's out the window. That's
because you don't have a minivan, Gene. If you had a minivan, you'd be camping all the time.
Agreed, my friend. If I had a 6'6" bed on my pickup, I'd be camping. But a 5'8" bed and a 6'1" fat old guy does not mix well with me. Yeah, even going sideways, I'm still scrunched in that thing, and the ouches on the knees and waking up, I can't move, and I'm supposed to put the kayak back in the truck again. I don't think so. Nope. Hotel. That's where we're going. Making it easy. So yeah, we got Pueblo, and then after Pueblo, then comes the Nebraska Bash. 2 days back to back. Red Willow. That is that's the highlighted. I am giving up Possum Kingdom to go do that there because I had a horrible Gunnersville, and I knew I was going to need to back something up with a better tournament. And that Possum Kingdom tournament for bass came up again, and I'm like, if I go do that, I'm going to miss both the 3rd and the 4th at Red Willow. So we decided, no, our focus is All-American Kayak and Colorado Kayak Bass. That's our priorities. That's where we're going to stay. And so, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to Red Willow. McCook is a fantastic place. There's a great hotel there. I can't wait to set up with those guys again. Super inexpensive, really clean, nice folks. They have actually hotel cats that kind of walk around and greet you. It's super cool. But it's a good deal.
Well, don't have to talk about it.
Horse Creek. Horse Creek.
Okay, because last time we were there, I stayed in a no-tell motel type of side of the road.
I think I know which one it was that you were staying
I think
at.
that's the Sopaw. That's the Sopaw right there, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
It did all right.
It looks riggedy raggedy, but that place is actually pretty decent. I heard it's family owned, and they treat you pretty decent there.
It's much better on the inside than it is on the outside, for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, that was for Swanson. For Red Willow, I stayed at one in McCook, and there was another one that was not great. But
this one has got horse in the name. It's right on the main drag there. It's Horse Creek or Horse something or other. I want to say the rooms are like 70 some odd bucks a night. To snatch up a couple nights there, and for that level of room that you get, that's that clean. It's that's a fantastic deal for sure. And I think
I will say, do not, and I hate to put this out on the airwaves, but do not stay at that Quality Inn there in McCook. I used to stay there for years, and then I found some bugs there that really aren't friendly to the kind of bugs I want to be sleeping around with and bringing home to my house.
Angler's
like cockroaches.
nightmare. Yeah, angler's nightmare.
So
I have a rule.
Yeah. Just a little FYI. Nothing but people there. But I'm going to sleep there.
I carry a cleaning kit, and I've got some cleaner that is guaranteed to wipe out bed bugs, roaches, anything like that. I got some of that stuff with me, and it's supposed to be eco-friendly. So I keep that in the pickup all the time. But my rule when my wife comes with me is if I'd stay in it, just me, no, we're not staying there. I won't let her stay in the level hotels that I stay in. It's like, no, we're getting a nicer one, something that I'm not worried about. But it's
I hear that.
Yeah, when it's just me, just nothing crawling, dude. I don't care how modern it is. That I can see my truck, that's another good one, As long as I know I can see the truck, and if I can get a good clear shot at the tailgate, if somebody's trying to be dumb, that's all we need.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to camp at Red Willow. We're gonna bring the trailer and we'll camp a little bit. I'm just hoping it's not 95 and 100% humidity. So
I don't think you
we'll
set
see.
this thing up so smart, man. You're putting us there in early June. I think the weather's going to be phenomenal, and the fish should just be, I mean, ripe, dude, ready to pick. I think the harvest should be good there.
I hope so. I have not figured that place out yet.
Yeah, it's there's a section of that lake that's dead.
I've got a few good ones, and I got my limit there last year, but I didn't get anything over 18 for the tournament. But I've gotten a few good ones, just not during the tournament, and just not a lot of numbers. So I still got some figuring out to do with that one for sure.
It'll be curious if we get these kind of numbers there, because there's a section of that lake that's kind of dead. But then again, when we were there last year, they had drawn it down. If that water's up early June, which it should be, there's a lot of stuff that comes into play then. I found an old like 1920s tractor sticking out of the water. The water was so low. It was stuck, buried in the mud, and that old metal seat was, dangling up out of it because of the water level so low there. If that's, stuff like that will be, covered in water, there's a lot of structure there to play with, especially if it's, if it's up. That could play out really fun.
Yeah, I think it will be, because last year we did it in August, and the year before we were at Red Willow in July. So this will be the earliest that Colorado Kayak Bassmasters has been to Red Willow. So it's going to be a learning experience for me because, as you guys know, it's my job as tournament director to build the schedule to optimize the fishery so we can all succeed and make it fun. So I'm trying to time these things perfect.
Dude, when you see a tournament go up and you see good numbers, going up, that gets you excited. You want to be a part of that. So it behooves everybody to have a good tournament, to have, to be in these places at the right time. And yeah, there's an art form to it. And the fact that you're a competitive angler yourself, man, and that both of you guys are, that's what makes, your decision-making so much cleaner, is because you know what it is that we're looking for out there too. So, and I think, again, that's a testament to, some good numbers, and hopefully these numbers, stick with us throughout for sure. So, all right, gentlemen. So that's the deal. We got Chatfield. It's going to be cold. Bundle up, ladies and germs. It's going to be. We're gonna separate the folks with the minerals and the folks without the minerals to handle that kind of weather and handle the event. There's going to be several of us that aren't going to have a whole lot of time pre-fishing out there, but we're going to be hungry on tournament morning, I'll tell you that, with a nice warm cup of coffee as we head out into the water for sure. And then, of course, definitely. Next week, the Classic coming up there, CKB going to represent, CKFC going to represent. One way or another, man, obviously, CKB's the home team for me personally, but in the same regard, just making sure all the Colorado teams go out there, represent well, and one way or another, let's bring this trophy back here. If we can't get it, then let's the CKFC take that thing out and bring it back to Colorado. That's going to be the name of the game. At least hopefully we see that unfold.
I think it's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to that. We should be hitting that at a good time too, I think.
We were there similar time last year, and yeah, there were some pretty good numbers that were put up for the Open. That's when it was last year. Although I will say, day one we got just smashed by rain. That was
well, it's probably a little early, but I did check the weather, and it is calling for some rain that week. And I think on Friday or Saturday, one of the days. But it's probably a little too far out to call that right now. But
those Lance can attest to this. Those Missouri boys call that rain. That's just buzzbait chop. That's all that is. It gives them just enough breaking of the water to get those buzzbaits fired up. Mm-hmm. Oh, Lance, we're so jealous, brother. I wish we could throw buzzbaits out here like you guys can out there. We try, but we just don't see near as much out here for sure. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, listen, to all of you guys for joining us here on the True Patriot Outfitters podcast. Thank you so very much for taking time out of your busy schedules here and joining us for this quick little update edition here. Lance, man, thank you again for joining us and for sticking with us here and sharing the video out there. And I know it's going to continue to gain ground for sure. All-American Kayak Series, Moyak Fishing, CKB, CKFC, all the alphabet soup in the world. Everybody that we're all fishing out here and getting this stuff rolling. It's exciting. Chatfield, follow along with the Colorado Kayak Bassmasters on Tourney X. You'll be able to see us going live there. And I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of sandbaggers. Don't get me started on sandbaggers, boy. I'll tell you. What is the?
Yeah, I'm a sandbagger. I'm a sandbagger. I'll admit it.
You are
I'll
not.
admit it.
The only time that I say is legitimate to sandbag on the deal is say early on, and you got a guy close to you or whatever, and you don't want him to know that you're around the corner just ripping on him. You don't want him crouching. I get that, but what the hell's the advantage of a live leaderboard if you're going to wait till the last hour of the day to submit up? And you guys as judges or whatever out there can't appreciate that. You got to be like, come on, dude.
No, it is a horrible way to fish, but what I have found out is, like you had just said, it's the guy around the corner. That's one thing. But also, at our level, it's a little different. But, at the beginning level in some clubs here and there, you start posting fish, you get a name for yourself. People, when they come around you, they know, like, okay, you just posted 5/16s. I'm going to fish around this guy somewheres. And if I'm trying to work a stretch, 100-yard stretch, back and forth, someone's going to roll in front of me thinking, oh, well, I'm giving him plenty of room. But little do they know is by me working that stretch, that's the numbers I'm getting. So I just try to keep people off of me by not reporting fish. I'll be totally honest with you. That's why I do it.
I was going to say, and that I totally understand. And who knows, maybe it's cell reception or whatever, but yeah, I see I see some of these where you don't hear a name all day long, and then in the last, the scoreboard goes quiet, and next thing you know, there's a dude's name that shows up in the top 3 or whatever that was not there all day long, and I'm like, come on, man. Well, we got a live leaderboard, you want the fans to join in and watch this stuff and and to enjoy it, but who knows, all strategy, right? I mean, it's a chess game at the end of the day. I don't sandbag.
It is there's a lot of money on the line. There's ALY points and it just and if it's a sneaky little tournament where I'm kind of sitting in my kayak and I'm just sitting there and I'm fishing, you really don't know what I'm doing. But if I'm standing up and I'm like boom 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 throwing a jerkbait and some guy comes by and I'm on the leaderboard and he was dragging something, he's going to be like, oh, I'm just going to go to the point and do what Strawbridge is doing, and he's going to rack a sack, and then he's going to kick my butt. So that's all strategy. That's my excuses, Gene, so go with it.
I got you, dog. I got you. You do you. You do you. No, it's a place like Chatfield. It's not, she's not a big place. So we're going to have, with 28 anglers, there's going to be some close proximity, I have a feeling, in some of these areas. But thankfully, I have no favorite spots. So I'm not going to encroach on anybody. If they're really dead set on something, cool. I'm going to keep on trucking till I find other stuff, because that's what I'm looking for, is the stuff that the other guys haven't found. So
I've been there 3 days over the past 2 weeks, found nothing. I think I got one 12-inch smallmouth, but I got nothing. So I'm just going fishing.
Yeah. Exactly. I think that's what it's going to end up. I will make sure to get back with you guys also tomorrow. We'll find out about that Seth ramp down there. Folks at home, folks watching us on record here, if you're watching this after the fact, we can't thank you enough. Make sure to smash the subscribes. Follow the Colorado Kayak Bassmasters. Follow True Patriot Outfitters, Moyak, All-American, all these numbers. Of course, Vicious Fishing, Onos Polarized Sunglasses. All these folks are who make this whole thing possible, and we cannot do it without them and you. So make sure to give those likes and shares and all that good stuff. As always, folks, we want to remind you that we have volunteer opportunities around every corner. Gentlemen, I'm going to roll this outro here. And after that, if you want to hang around, I'll chat with you off air. But other than that, folks at home, folks watching, tight lines and be safe.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Together.